Hello, everyone. I am absolutely delighted to be here with the gorgeous Sandra Hillawi. Hello.
Hello. Happy to
Oh,
be here too.
oh, and we are here to celebrate a very special event because on June the 30th, numerous things happened, and one of them being that we met for the first time.
Yes, I remember it well.
I do too, yes. I remember you sitting in the front row of
Yes,
the training at the Kensington Commonwealth Centre in
yes.
London, United
Mhm.
Kingdom, sitting in the front row with a notebook and wearing a pink cardigan.
Lilac, like twin set, knitted twin set, and
That's
lilac.
right. Yep.
Wearing yeah.
Yep. I can see the young, happy
With
aspect.
heels, with my heels.
I can just see, I can see the young, innocent aspect looking up at me. And
Little did she know, she had no idea. She had no
ah,
idea. Yes.
may I first of all really congratulate that aspect on taking a leap of faith
Yeah, she
on
did. She did.
something that was completely unproven at the time. It
Hmm.
was completely untested. It
Hmm.
was an absolute first ever
Yes.
in the history of humanity kind of a 3-day presentation, which was not cheap either.
No,
Um,
no, I remember the whole lead up experience very well as well. Getting that advertising piece with the like 101 benefits that this emo could do. But what was the emo? Nothing could be found anywhere about what it was
no,
because it
because
didn't exist till
it,
then.
it was that new that it was that new that
Yeah.
nobody knew. There was no web articles on it. Of course, there wasn't.
No,
Was
no.
that it was created there in that week, as it were.
It was a real leap of faith. It was real
It
leap
was a
of
real leap of faith, and I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart because that's the kind of people that I like to work with who are trusting their intuition. And
adventurous as well. Yeah,
yeah,
adventurous.
and when your spider sense tingles, and no matter how strange it may seem, I got to be there. I got to
Mm,
do that. I got to be there.
mm,
That's my kind of people because that's how I work.
mm, mm.
This is how I work. I mean, I got to be an NLP trainer that way. I started with a hypnosis course with NLP. I just saw the advertisement. It was insanely expensive, but I just felt that I had to be there. And so many things wouldn't have come to pass if I hadn't done that. So, yeah, that was so there we were. We were meeting, and EMO was being presented for the first time. Now, let's just
Mhm.
skip forward here 20 years. 20 years later, EMO has proven its value and its worth
Absolutely.
in every circumstance, scenario, with every kind of type of human being on this planet, with children, with old people. I remember you teaching it to a camel herder in Egypt at one point, which I thought was brilliant, to help him help people who get nauseous when they sit on camels, the tourists. That was
Yeah.
that was that was brilliant. I'd so remember that. That was couple of years into that.
And I did find out that he did do it on his own afterwards. He did that with just that simple experience and explanation. So it was easy to pass on. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that was what I was looking for. I was looking for a kind of energy work that is so real that anybody can do it, that you can literally show this to a really literally a tribes person in New Guinea and they'll understand it.
Hmm.
And at the same time, you can show this to a group of doctors, really skeptical medical doctors somewhere in the Western world, which I did in Germany in
Mm-hmm.
2005, I think it was. I had a group of medical doctors in Germany who were like, when
Yeah.
they started, about half an hour later, they were softening and flowing and crying and hugging and
I
going.
I had a similar experience. I don't know if you remember because when I was in that very first launch, and again it was I'd been doing EFT for 2 years, by then. Actually, I decided to be a trainer for EFT, But interestingly, I'd only learned EFT as a technique for my patients in my practice, not for myself. That's where I was. So I came to EMO thinking, well, I'm going to be teaching EFT. I'll see what this is, and maybe I can teach it. If it's any good, I can teach it as well as my EFT classes. Anyway, so I find myself at this event, and everybody's got energy flowing out their hands and down their legs and out their ears. And I'm thinking, oh my, I can feel nothing. I'm thinking, what kind of a place am I in? And then I started to think, oh, what's wrong with me? Everybody can do this, and I can't. And then I felt something for the first time. And then you came by me. We had little groups and exercises. You came by the little huddle just when I was feeling this anxiety in my chest. And then I had this like blowing up balloon feeling going on in my chest, and a bursting and an energy flow up and down. And I felt joy in my body for the first time. It was more than a word on a Christmas card. And then I got it. So I would completely relate to those guys. I was like that, thinking, what am I in here? You know, I'm some new age show. And then I realized I wasn't feeling my emotions. I wasn't feeling my emotions till then. And so it was a massive kind of transformation point, for life event, really, for me,
Yeah.
that EMO conference. Yeah.
It's what we now call a miracle expansion. All of a sudden, things are possible that were never possible before.
Yes. Yeah.
That, like, taking it to a new level. And from this and so many other experiences comes one of the many slogans we have in EMO, which is, it's not real until you feel it's real.
Yes. Yeah.
Too much energy work, new agey type energy work, is just make believe. It's just pretending. It's a mind game with fairies and unicorns and that. And it's fun, you know, like playing a computer game, but it doesn't do anything.
Yes.
But when you really feel it,
and it really moves in you and changes, you change with it, and that is real. It's
and
real.
change the way you think. And I at the Doctor's Day there in Germany, there was one person, a gentleman, who had some kind of thing stuck here on the side, and it was all blocked up, and he was working with his partner, softening and flowing, and all of a sudden he literally fell over. When that weight was removed, his entire body balance, because he'd spent so long just compensating for that. When that went away, he just went floom. And I was lucky there to catch him. It's just that I was walking past in the exercises, and that he was just so amazed, so astonished, because he hadn't really believed in energy. And you can't believe in energy. Believing in energy is not where it's at. It's feeling it in your own body.
Energy is where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah. And you've been teaching this thing for 20 years now. Crazy, isn't it, when you think about it? 2 decades of experience teaching EMO all around the world.
Yeah.
So many different people.
And everywhere, everyone loves it. Everywhere, everyone loves it. Who learns it, who experiences it, the simplicity, the power, the immediacy. It's immediate change. And it feels natural. I think it's just so elegant as well. And
it's just so beautiful and simple. And I think a lot of people reject it and don't like it because it is so simple. There is no 10th grade of secret knowledge at the end of it. You know, I see EMO, you know, the old sort of cults and secret societies. You get a little bit of knowledge at the bottom, and then you have to pay more and more and more and more and more and more as you're going up to the pyramid top there. And there's only these few people who know the real truth. What I've done with EMO is I've inverted that pyramid.
Yes.
You get the truth right at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's simple. And with that simple truth, you can learn and navigate anything.
Yeah, and you can apply it on the things that you love.
Yeah.
No, that's that. I think that's just I think EMO is a really cool thing, and I'm this morning I posted an article about the change from Project Sanctuary to Supermind.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that it took 25 years for me to create something for the public, as it were,
Mm-hmm.
Supermind is for the general public, is that I needed to know what the long-term effects would be on the people using this.
Mm.
Because I'm here to make the world a better place.
Mm.
And that means that the systems that I'm teaching need to not just be a flash in the pan or turn out to be quite fun at the beginning and then it gets worse or leave some bad side effects at the end of the day.
Mm.
So it took me 25 years to get there with Project Sanctuary. EMO is 20 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with it. I'm convinced that it works, that it doesn't have any negative side effects, that it enriches people's lives, it helps them.
Absolutely. Simple power for self-healing and to help another person. I always found that, in my travels and going about life, when you meet somebody struggling in some way or in pain, EMO was just the simplest thing to talk them through the releasing and getting that area flowing again in the most unusual or normal places, like in a restaurant, on a boat, on a plane. It was just, you could do it anywhere. And I like that because not everybody wants to sit there in a restaurant tapping with their partner or whatever. And
It's
and
funny
it's
you should
just
say
all
that.
natural.
My partner, who isn't by any means an experienced modern energist,
Mm.
he was in an airport recently, and there was a lady really freaking out, and he just went and sat next to her and said, "Where do you feel that in your body? Can you show me with your hands?" And it's just an energy, and just soften and flow, just stroke it down, let it flow away. And she was like, "Oh my God, I can breathe. Oh my God, what is this? What is this magic?" And it's just like so cool, isn't it?
Yeah. When
When
that happens and somebody's surprised, they never felt. And I remember that when I had that first experience, I hadn't felt energy flowing in my body, energy moving in my body before. And when I, before, from my kind of background, emotions was the uncomfortable emotions, which we didn't want to feel, and we would always shut down to not feel them. So we never had the experience of getting that energy to flow and transform into something better. And so it was, shut down, kind of powerful, strong, independent, shut down kind of existence. And so the feeling, and it's such a wonderful feeling, nourishing to have energy moving through your body, down, feeling it go down your body and even out. You can feel it flowing out of your body. And it feels so good.
it
It
does.
feels so good and right and good and natural. Yeah.
Good and right and natural. I think that's just simply how we're supposed to be working with energy.
Yeah.
And this is the right way to do it. And it's like I didn't invent emo, I observed it, I noticed it.
I think that's one of the things that I like is, well, what I can, understand is really just it's modeling a completely natural process that we are all having on this planet, which is experiencing the energies of life, responding with our emotions to the
Mhm.
energies of life. And however we respond is our emotional experience, which should, in theory, be allowed to flow in
Yeah,
us and through us and out. And so emo, energy and motion, as it's now named, is just a natural process of life and evolution. And so yeah.
yeah, getting in. I remember writing sort of the first EMO practitioner manual and making the point in there that when we're doing EMO, um, the creative order has our back.
Mm.
It's like when you have water and you want to get it down the hill.
Mm.
You don't have to carry it in buckets down a hill. This is not necessary. Water flows naturally down a hill.
Yeah.
And EMO is
So
like that.
yeah, like the system is there
The
for the
system is
energy to
there.
flow in. Yeah. Yeah.
Not just the system is there. It's not
Mm.
neutral system. Energy wants to flow.
Mm.
It's like water wants to flow down a hill. It really does. And it's really difficult to stop it. But somehow we humans have managed this with our emotions to stop
Yes. Mm.
the
We
natural
focus
flow of the shields, the blockages, the
Yeah.
reversals, all of those things. We've
Yeah.
somehow amazingly managed to do that.
Yeah. Mm.
But as soon as so it's not really like having, I don't know, to carry rocks up a hill. It's the exact opposite.
Mm.
The rock is up the hill. All you really have to do is give it a little nudge, and then gravity takes over. The
Mm.
whole system, how the world works, takes over,
Yeah.
and the rock rolls down the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this, I used to call that the creative order itself has our back.
Yeah.
Unlike the old sort of energy stuff where you have to work so hard to move stuff against its will and struggle and fight the demons.
Mm.
EMO is so amazingly beautiful because you can just go,
Yeah.
and it'll go
Yeah.
happily.
And
You have
isn't it amazing how the simplest thing is the most profound? You know, when you go down to the most fundamental level, a simple movement can have a profound effect on everything, the
yes,
whole mind, body, spirit. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's been. I have that. This is so funny. Last few days, I've had a star moment with EMO, a star event. I had a star event. And this star event has caused me to make the first structural change in my mind to what I said 20 years ago about EMO. Would you like to hear what it was?
Indeed. I'm, yes,
I was,
curious.
I was, I think, oh yeah, we've got the Community Energies program running, which is really fun. The very, very first test program, 25 people are doing it. It's a year-long course to establish yourself in your real community where you really live as an energy specialist and start an energy club, a modern energy club. This is not as easy as it may seem.
Mhm.
So it's a real challenge for people on the multi-level, and we're enjoying doing that. We've gone halfway now. We're at halfway point. And one of the things that we do for the energy club is sort of I write little notes of what you can do in an energy club with a group. And so it came to teaching EMO, basic EMO. You know, a group of people come in from the street. Your aunt is there, your uncle is there, neighbor, guy from the fruit shop, sitting around, and we're doing EMO. And as I'm saying the words, the words of explaining EMO, because there is this line there, it's only energy.
Mhm.
So for if anybody hears this who doesn't know what EMO is, in EMO we do not talk about all these emotions, anger, aggression, hatred, self-shame. If somebody says anything like that, you know, if you're full of shame for the hatred, for the anger, and so on, then we say, oh yeah, must be terrible. Where do you feel that in your body? Show me with your hands. And then the person goes, oh, it's all here. And you say, okay, yeah, just keep your hands there for a moment. Please be advised, this is only energy. And energy wants to flow. And as I said those words, I went, ah. And I added to that, energy loves to flow because that's its nature.
Mm.
Can you feel that when you say
I
energy
can feel the
loves
difference.
to
Yeah.
flow? And
Energy
because
loves to flow. Yeah. That
it's
makes a difference. Yeah.
yeah, doesn't it, May? Because energy is love.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, it loves to flow because love is its very nature.
Mm.
And I just burst out laughing and said, okay, when I constructed EMO, energy in motion, I was clearly a little bit lower down on the modern energy chart.
Mm.
I could understand that it wants to flow,
Mm-hmm.
that it needs to flow, that is,
Mm-hmm.
but I hadn't gone quite far enough to really actually understand it loves to flow.
Mm.
Energy loves to flow because that's its nature.
Mm.
And when I said that, it was like, woohoo, sunlight coming up in the room, and the people who were there were going, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm.
And I thought that's a wonderful thing to be saying and to upping the ante here a little. Instead of
Yes.
just energy wants to flow, energy needs to flow,
Mm.
to actually say those words, energy
Energy loves to flow. Yeah,
loves to flow.
that would make a good difference to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So revealed for the first time, the first structural change in EMO. It's not really a change, it's just upping the ante a little, isn't
It
it?
is. It's just. Yeah. It's just saying it from a
Higher
slightly
energy
higher state.
perspective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, higher energy state, yeah. And ever since then, I've been sniggering to myself. Energy loves to flow.
Mm.
So who am I to get in its way with blocking it or trying to be miserable or trying to hold it back or trying to find some excuse why it shouldn't flow? Energy loves to flow. We need to just let it
Energy
do its
loves to
thing.
flow, and energy flow is love.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah.
What's the subtitle of this book?
Yes. Yeah.
It's not on the front page, but it's got
Energy, emotion, information, and love.
yeah, yes, love. Because it's all interchangeable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here for our viewers, if you haven't read this book, please
Mm-hmm.
do. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just a book; it's a great big manual.
Yeah.
It's got absolutely tons of patterns,
Yes. Yeah.
of techniques, of beautiful, simple self-help exercises that you can practice to, even if you're not used to, like Sandra wasn't before she came to the EMO training in Kensington. If you're not used to feeling emotions, or you think you can't feel them,
Yeah.
or you think you're feeling them too much to the point of you having to start to self-mutilate in order to not feel the emotions.
Yeah. Mm.
There's loads of gorgeous, simple exercises in there, self-help exercises that you can try at home. And because it's a natural system, we really do have a living energy body.
Yeah.
You will
Yeah.
feel something at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember back, in those early days that, especially it was new, that it was very exploring, researching, discovering journey we were setting out on. And I just decided to apply emo to everything. So every time something would come up, where did I feel it? Soften and flow. Anytime I wanted to change something, where do I feel it? Soften and flow. And and just experimenting with
Yes.
with the whole thing, and to then discover not only transformation so easily and immediately taking place, and then because I was using it a lot, such rapid personal change in, growing in myself, because I was doing it on everything because it was new and I was trying it out.
Yeah.
And also the learning, like the information
The
part,
information part.
the
This,
learning of like wisdom from like embodied knowledge, when the energy is moved through you and out, there is a imparting of knowledge in that process, and that was also really interesting. And yeah.
yeah, I'd like to comment on that. This was when we very first started to do EML. All we wanted to was not feel bad anymore.
Yeah.
That's all we wanted.
Yeah,
Not
hence the
feel bad.
original name also was like transforming emotions from
Yeah.
the point of view of healing. Yes.
Of having bad emotions and you don't want them, and to learn, oh, wait a minute, this is not anger stuck in my throat.
Mm,
You can't move anger. How
mm,
do you do that? But if you say it's only an energy,
mm,
and energy wants to flow, needs to flow.
mm.
then
Love
all of a sudden it becomes possible to move the energy. It
Yeah.
becomes possible. But the really interesting thing that you were just saying, and why EMO book has got the word information in there, is
Yes.
so the person is doing this thing, softening and flowing, and all of a sudden they go, oh my God, I know where this has come from. I now remember. This was an ex-boyfriend of mine when I was at university. He was strangling me. And that memory just came back to me as this started to flow away. And I've been holding that all that time in my throat, and I didn't even know how that connected to this problem, and why I couldn't speak up to my boss, and why I'm da 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 da. And that's when I said, yeah, okay, there's a tap being opened, and information is coming through, literally like you're watching a documentary on the problem.
Yeah.
And that is extraordinary. That is so extraordinary. Because now we've got mind, body, and spirit doing the same thing at the same time, and the mind is not left out of it. The mind is not left out wondering what the hell
It's
happened.
like, you have a pain today and it came from somewhere. Something happened to create that energy in your energy system, which you now forgot about. And as you start to work with that, that energy is attached to where it came from, those thought fields. It's attached to
that information.
So that information can come back up and let itself be known. And and that's interesting. And then you just go, okay, that's interesting. And where do you feel that? And can that soften and flow? And off it goes. And you don't need to speak about it so much, actually. You can have these insights, but they unlike, counseling.
Well, we're doing energy work. We're not doing psychotherapy.
Exactly. And so
this is what I keep saying to my people on Star Matrix Pro. You have to remember what we're doing in Star Matrix Pro. This is conversational energy work. This is conversational energy work. It's not psychotherapy. It's not counseling. We're working with the person's energy body. That's what we're working with. Well, I was going to say, the lady, the lady who'd been strangled by her boyfriend in college. I was very much at the time, because we were still so in this whole trauma thing. As she's saying this, I'm thinking, oh my God, now I have to spend 2 hours tapping on the trauma with her or something. But I was like, okay, do you need to work with this trauma? And she's like, no, it's fine. It's just so great that I know why all this time I couldn't speak up and what happened to me. No, that's fine. That's in the past. That's gone now. She's going, that's gone now. And also, see, look, our emo's so great. The whole way we move our hands around our bodies, showing these energetic realities, like when somebody says thank you, and you go, oh, no. Putting up the shields. And all of those things are just glorious. It's just emo, so much fun.
And that, that whole instinctive hands going, your energy problem, your emotion calling you to the injury or disturbance in the energy body that needs attention to heal. It's like an inbuilt mechanism that you notice it. You're bringing energy to the place which is low in energy. Your hands go there naturally, bringing the solution, the energy to the place. It's just this natural, innate solution in where the problem is. And then we go there to heal it with energy naturally. I think that's kind of really, really cool, intuitive, and natural.
You know what I really like? That we've been doing this for 20 years, both of us, in different ways, granted, but we've been doing EMO in our own special way, each one of us, for 20 years, and look how excited we still are about it.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's the underlying natural movement of energy of life in us and through us, and our evolution. It's something innate for all of us. So how could we ever not be excited about our own evolution ever? It's just models our own natural process. But I think it's hard to say with all the courses, really. I'm very fond of the modern energy healer, as that's all about love too. And, we kind of evolved that as a passive modality following our years of working with EMO. But I think EMO has been my favorite in its simplicity. And really, it's just, bringing love energy to the place that needs it and getting it flowing again and getting the improved flow again. And there's as simple as that. And beautiful in its simplicity.
Beautiful in its simplicity, absolutely. And I'm super thrilled that I found it and that I had the wherewithal to
The courage to come out and put it out there, and
and
with all these skeptics in the audience thinking, what on earth is going on here?
well, so it's all on the same level because it's an observation of actual reality.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes it pretty bomb proof. Now, of
Yes.
course, we can have people say, "Oh, it's all nonsense and rubbish and all the rest of it," and
The
they can
evidence.
do that. They say that about lots of different things.
Yeah.
We can prove emo.
Mm.
We can prove it, how it works on people, how the
Mm.
concepts work on people. So, what do we
Yeah.
see for the next? What do we see for the future? What do
Well,
we see for the future?
I always thought about emo that, we see how EFT and tapping has become so popular, so widespread, yet, and it's simple and it's powerful. And, that seems to be the ambassador for the energy work that's gone out before us. But emo is more simple, more natural, easier to do for everybody. It's like deserving of a similar world renown, really.
And see, the other thing really is with emo that emo makes sense to physicians, to doctors,
Mm.
whereas they really can't get their head around why tapping should anything to do
Yeah.
with.
Mm.
The idea of there being like an energy blockage that is affecting the physical health in that area,
Yeah.
and that there should be more flow through, that makes perfect sense, especially
Yeah.
doctors who deal with pain,
Yeah.
psychosomatics, with the clients directly. That makes perfect sense to them, and it's also something that they can apply with their clients. Just
Yeah.
like my partner there in the airport with the strange lady who was freaking out. You don't need to be a weirdo
Mm.
to just ask, where do you feel that in your body?
Mm.
Show me with your hands.
Yeah. I think it's the teaching about emotions that people don't know they can, I think about the uninformed about energy and emotion. They don't know that they can do something with their emotions. They still, like I'm here in where I am in a culture where, everybody has lots of emotions, but they don't know they can do anything about them. They just have them. And so that there's an education still to be had, to be brought to people.
Yeah, well, the education is you actually have a living energy body.
Mm.
Hello, everything the prophets have all said, like you have a spirit.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
do. That's your living energy body.
Mm.
Hello. And if you're feeling negative emotions, your spirit is trying to tell you something.
Mm.
It's being unhappy. So that basic thing with the whole thing, with the sixth sense, that, oh man, yeah, really. I would like to write like a note to the entire world. Hello, people. Wake up. We have emotions. But not
Mm.
just that. It's I think emo is simple. It's user friendly. I think it will spread. I'm satisfied that it has good long-term effects.
Mm.
That was very important to me. So I'm going to release whatever
Mm.
breaks I might have put into it or shields that I have put around it.
Yeah.
I'm going to today officially release and rescind them
Yeah.
because I am happy that people who've used EMO for 20 years, including myself and
Yes.
my family.
We know it works because we have experienced it
Oh, yeah.
working and changing and transforming us, and we know that that's our life experience, that it's working. Yeah.
I'm just thinking of this lady I met in Bosnia who had her entire family murdered in front of her during the
War. Yeah.
war. And she had this what she described as a black charred crystal stuck right here in her chest. And she said that it was one crystal and then it became just harder and harder and harder with every family member she saw
Yeah.
raped and murdered and shot in front of her. And now this was pressing into her at all times like a sharp nail,
Mm.
and she couldn't breathe anymore.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting because I thought, how far away is that then from physical damage?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where then physical illness, if that's getting, this part here is constantly being triggered, the nerve endings are being triggered constantly.
And the lack of flow in that area, the corresponding in the physical to
Oh
the
gosh, yeah, I
energetic
mean, just
absence of energy.
absolute nightmare. But of course, and of course, her life is just an utter misery from these things. And we literally just did hands-on healing with it.
Yeah.
Um, the other members of the group joined in, and this, in her description, this hard thing started to soften a little bit around the edges, and then it started to move a little bit. And I did say, it's a process that you might want to encourage over a longer period of time, because this is, of course, serious shit, isn't it? But one of the things that really blew me away is after me and the other members of her group had sort of gently worked on that, she all of a sudden looked up and smiled and said, "I've just remembered that one of my daughters had this beautiful smile."
Mm.
And then we all burst out into tears.
Mm.
This is really powerful stuff, is EMO.
Mm.
It's not a new age delusion. It's really a pathway to be able to helping a lot of people. And as I said, I am now satisfied after 20 years
Mm. Mm.
trying it out and the effects that it has. But look, people, EMO is not just about healing. EMO is a personal thing. Like Sandra said, there are certain things that she wanted to find out for herself,
Mm.
that she worked with. There are things that I wanted to find out for myself, and that was then energy magic, energy art, the ability to relate, with the world, the oceans of energy.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Directly.
that's yeah. I remember that's a kind of, I set off on that journey. It's discovering and applying emo and learning and observing and one of the things that you always say about any kind of observations and discoveries, you say, don't believe me, test it and find it out for yourself. So, and the emo will really allow you to do that.
Yes.
And so I for many years after emo, that's what I was doing. And then, I wrote my own book then. It was just from my discoveries of relationships, energy flow relationships as an example, all things that we're in relationship with. That was a fascinating exploration.
Yeah.
And discovering then, so this is how love works. It's the energy flow. And the falling in love is this energy movement flowing through the body and powerful energy movements, and the letting go of the resistances and fears, and wow, having these amazing experiences in just applying the principles of energy flow and softening and flowing of the emo, the simple basics. It was a very good discovery period. Yeah.
It is. And like if somebody just loves crystals, just doing EMO with crystals, you could write such an extraordinary book about all the different crystals, the different experiences, what you can do with them. The Germans used to say everything works better with EMO.
Yeah, yeah.
Reiki, your Reiki is going to go to a whole new level once you know EMO.
Yeah.
Your Christian prayers, dear Sister Margarita.
Yeah, blessings.
Who is now in the starfields and blessing us with her light. She used to apply EMO to Christian prayer and
Yeah.
meditation,
Yeah.
like doing the Lord's Prayer properly with energy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So powerful, and then, yeah, I mean, this.
And even nature, when you pay attention and you receive the energy and you feel it in your body and you let it flow and you repeat, and you end up in this amazing, energizing connection with nature, and all the information that comes with that is quite an extraordinary
Yeah,
experience.
I went on a 2-year trip, aromatherapy for your soul.
Mm.
It's
Oh, no.
entirely EMO based. I used to get the essential oils, and I
Yeah.
used to open them up and go, let
Let
that
the
energy flow in, through, and out. And
Mm.
then the information that came with it became a story.
Yeah.
And painting was made for the energy art thing, but it's EMO. That's EMO. All
Mm.
these things. I keep saying that EMO is the engine at the
Yes.
heart of
Of everything. Yeah.
modern energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
EMO is the engine at the heart of modern energy. If you want to understand modern energy,
You do EMO. Yeah.
do EMO, and the rest, as they say, is
Yeah.
history. We've made history, Sandra, you and I.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
pleased, so proud
It,
of us.
yeah. It is really something. Actually, 20 years.
It is. And I would like to send some love and gratitude today to all our aspects over these 20 years who have worked under difficult circumstances. Difficult, it's not as though it was made easy for us, was it? They
Yeah.
really have put their heart and soul
Plenty
into it.
opportunity for expansion of the heart and the channel. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that if we didn't, with our energy tools and knowledge, it lets you navigate life. It lets you expand. It lets you evolve, and the difficult, challenging experiences. Well, I don't know it's interesting because if you didn't have the tools, you'd either be stuck there or walk away and not evolve. With the tools, you evolve, and then you can, grow and learn and manage that aspect of your life, and then you're ready for the next bit that comes later. And so it's a constant evolutionary path that we can then get into our stride in our journey in life with EMO, with the tools that we have in modern energy, which if we
I
didn't
feel,
have, I don't
I
know where.
feel so sorry for the people out there who have no idea of energy,
Mm.
who literally think that towns and cities and governments and that's all there is, and Twitter and TikTok, that's what life is, and who just don't the oceans, the joy of the oceans of energy
Mm.
that we can access as living human beings,
Mm.
and they don't have that. And I do wish more people would, become more energy aware. Well, we will continue to do our best, won't we, Sandra, to bring the light, bring the
Yes,
light and the love, and
I
teach
might
you
even put another EMO course on soon, so you never know.
absolutely. So I'm going to give a big recommendation to the most experienced and most wonderful EMO trainer the world has ever seen and will ever see, will ever know. And there's no better person in the universe to learn EMO from than Sandra.
Thank you
And
so
if you want to, buy my book, read my book. If you've bought my book, read it again,
Yeah,
read it afresh, because
refresh.
last time you read it, you were a different aspect, and now you know more, and you'll be able to unlock more of the information that is in this book.
The same in in all of the energy trainings, but the same in EMO. If you already did it, come back and take it again. You're in a different place in your life. The opportunities for evolution are there to go deeper and further, to
Yeah,
explore further for you and have fun and practice and keep it alive in your life as well, because we can sometimes forget to do energy work, and it's good to kind of refresh and plug back in and get it working and back into your habits again.
Yeah, I'd like to say that if you have already got an EMO certification, especially the older ones, but it doesn't matter which one. By all means, we call this a river rate because you can't step into the same river twice, and you get a big discount and a welcome back where, hey, we love you, and we would love for you to have the new experiences. The
Yes.
thing is that when you're brand new to something like EMO, it's the first time you're quite overwhelmed. You pick up some things that really resonate with you at that time, but there is still like an ocean of information there that you haven't been able to access yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can certainly not just read the EMO book many times and come away with something new every time you do. You can certainly gain so much more when you go to the EMO Masters course in particular.
Yeah. Yeah.
As the aspect you now are, and you will be just delighted to see how much more you'll find in there that
Yeah.
you've never been able to experience before, because it just, you as you grow.
Even, as teaching the course, as an example, you can put, and I don't know where you get it from, but, here's the little exercise. Even there's only a few words to describe it, and you might even overlook it because it's just a little invitation to explore. Yeah, in that invitation to explore, there is a huge possibility of learning and evolution. And this is why, like, even teaching the courses, it's possible as a trainer to not bring to life all the elements of a course because we've missed it, or we didn't fully get it. And so next time we have, and we can bring that for somebody as well. So there is so many layers of richness there to be discovered and learn about, and for our personal evolution. So
It's a wonderful thing. I feel like I've invented the wheel with EMO. And the wheel is not just a wheel to drag a cart. A wheel is the beginning of a clockwork. It's a lathe. It's a potter's wheel. It's hooped earrings. It's so many things that can be useful in the greater scheme of things. It helps with our evolution. So we're going to say happy birthday, dear Emo, for
happy birthday, Emo. Yes. Happy birthday.
We'll be back for the next birthday celebration. And
when will that be? Yes, I don't know.
And we're going to have a silver anniversary at year 25. So
25, yes, we'll come back for that.
Yeah, well, let's stay alive and keep doing our thing in the oceans of energy.
Yeah.
So we can come back for that celebration.
Keep teaching.
Would you like to
years,
give us a lovely blessing, Sandra, to end this story?
May all recognize and feel and experience the power of the flow of energy in them, and the simplicity and the opportunity of experiencing love and deep connection as they do it. Yeah.
Oh,
may everybody come to know the flow with Emo.
The even flow experience. Step into the even flow.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I would like that very much. So, on behalf of all the people that have benefited from your gentle, patient, and loving instructions over the last 20 years, and not just those people, but the people who have benefited from the people that you have taught.
Yeah.
And the connections beyond, I would like to say thank you so much for having been here on this journey and continuing to be here, be the shining star you are, and help us tell people about the wonderful thing that is Emo, the energy that loves to flow.
Yeah. And I've got this welling up of energy in my heart now, which is loving to just flow and spread out through
Yep.
my body. Thank you.
We can become the fountain, we can become the fountain and send out star sparkles all over the universe. And I invite you, my dear viewers, to do the same. You be a fountain. Send out star sparkles across the universe. Let's lighten up for humanity at the energy level. We've got to make a start. And the future can be beautiful. Thank you so much for watching and listening to us. Lots of love from me.
Yes, thanks to everybody. Lots of love from me. And thanks, Sylvia, for putting this. It's been great to just reminisce and go over the 20 years that we've had with EMO. Really wonderful. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you very much, and lots of love, and goodbye for now.
Yes. Bye for now.